Hi guys, it's Andy from mcfcfantv and I'm back at last. I'm back. I want to say a massive thank you to Martin, who unfortunately is not too well at the moment, so I hope he gets better soon. But I'm doing this one tonight, and I'll be doing the Friday Night Social tomorrow as well. So yeah, brilliant news. This is all about Pep Guardiola, and I've got a couple of guests on the channel to talk about it and talk about what great news it is. What a bit of a relief. I have seen some comments on Twitter that people are not that bothered about it. Well, my God, if you're not bothered about Pep Guardiola signing an extended contract at Man City, then I don't know. I don't know. Some people are never happy, I guess. But one of the guests on tonight is Tom, and I've also got Kamal, who's on again. So they're going to give their little bits about Pep Guardiola. But as you know, Tom is doing a special charity fundraising event, and he's a number of days into it now. I don't know, it's 3 or 4 days into it. But just to remind you before I bring those two on, this is what Tom's got to say. And if you can help Tom with his GoFundMe charity event for his granddad, that would be absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to hand you over to Tom, and then we'll be back, and Tom, Kamal, and myself, and you guys, we're going to talk about Pep Guardiola. So here's Tom.
Hi guys, Tom here. Before you go into this live, I'm just giving you a quick update. I've just started the run. The first day, it's a bit cold as you can see, I'm wearing my hat, but yeah, the t-shirt's out, ready to go. So if you could donate, the links will be below, like I've been saying on the lives for the past few days. The Just Giving page is there for anybody who wants to donate less than £5, and the GoFundMe page is there for anybody who wants to donate more than £5. Any donations appreciated to try and get higher than the target we're at now. I think we're at something like £1,551 or something crazy, which is mad. It's crazy, so any more is just appreciated so much. So yeah, the run's starting. Take care guys, enjoy the live, I'll keep you posted.
There you go. So that's Tom. And don't forget, in the description below is all the details and the links. So if you want to go and support him, however much you want to do, if it's £1 or whatever, £5, £10, it'd be anything, would be absolutely amazing. But let me bring the two guests tonight in. And that one of them is Tom and the other is Kamal. So, Tom, how are you doing, mate?
I'm very good, yeah. So that was the first day of the run. That you've just seen everybody there. We're 4 days down the line. The legs are still in good nick. There's no muscle strains or anything at the moment. Everything's going well. From that point, I think we've gone up about another £100 in donations, which is really good. So I think we're venturing on to £2,000 now. So fingers crossed, we could go for that. Like when I started this, when I put it up, I put a £300 target, and now I'm talking about figures such as £2,000 could be in our reach. It's amazing. So thank you for everybody that supported. I thank you, Andy, for donating. I really appreciate it.
Fine. Absolutely fine.
And yeah, so if anybody can donate anything and we can get close to that £2,000 target, it means so much to me. So yeah, thank you for the support.
What day are you on now?
It's day 4 now. So yeah, so that was day 4. My mate Alfie, who my granddad watched me and him grow up playing football. We both took part in it today, socially distanced and everything. But you know, it's nice to get people who knew my granddad very well over the years, who knew him before he had Alzheimer's, to join him with the run. I've got a few other guys coming to join from the football team and stuff in the next few days as well, on separate days. So it's nice to have the support from my mates too. And
you finished the how many days is it? Is it 15 days or
13? It's 13 days. So
13
I finished.
Days.
It's next Saturday. So not this Saturday. The Saturday after is the final day.
So yeah, can still donate right up till that final day.
I'm gonna leave it open. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it open for a week or so afterwards, and then see if I've got any donations that final week, and then after that I'll be sending it off just before Christmas, just in time for Alzheimer's research to get it.
Fantastic, brilliant. Well, Kamal, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing good. New today, I'm feeling even better now.
Yeah, it's some absolutely amazing news. Well, we're going to ask these two guys what their thoughts are on today's news. I know I don't know when it was. I think you were on it, Tom. Was it the Friday Night Social? The question was raised with all the guests on there about,
Yeah.
do you think he will sign? Do you think he won't sign? And I know that I think you and I think it was Carl both
Yeah.
were pretty confident that he would definitely sign, and the others were a little bit, no, I don't think he will. As you know, today it's been announced, and he has signed a 2-year extension. So we've got 2.5 more years of Pep Guardiola. And if you've not seen on the City website, there is the video with the interview, the extended interview about the extension. And wow, he looks like a new man. You know, we've had comments, you know, we've seen him looking a little bit, and that's why people thought, is he going to sign? Is he not? You know, what's he going to do? But today, he looked absolutely up for the challenge, happy, and we'll go through some of his statements on the comments that he made. So let's see who's on. Riley Taylor's on. Evening, how are you, mate? Doopy's on. How are you, Doopy? Hope you're well. Adam Quinn is on. Hi, guys. Riley, would you like a virtual grandstand in stadiums? I'll explain in a moment. Okay, maybe we'll come to that in a bit. There's some questions that I put up about tonight, and that is how excited are you that Pep has signed a new deal? Well, it seems like Charlie Everett's happy. We've got Guardiola. My second comment was about Pep's comment suggests he's ready for the challenge to win multiple trophies. The other one is how have the new players settled in under Pep, which I think we'll discuss. Is this Andy? Yes, it is, Charlie. And then Messi. Does this mean a new contract for Sergio? And his best mate is coming in January or the summer. Alec Johnson's on. How are you, mate? City will get Champions League with Aguero and Messi. No messing. I think. Do you mean win it? Because we're already in it. Riley, would you like to see virtual grandstand in stadium? I'll explain it. Yeah, I think you said that one again. Zagon, 2 more years, Guardiola. I think Zagon's happy about that one. It's where you get big screens at Zoom meeting, any football. I'll be honest with you, mate. I can ask these two very quickly. It's not for me. It's either fans in the stadium or not. Tom, would you like to have virtual fans?
No, I'd much rather be inside the stadium or not. It's either one or the other for me.
Kamal, would you like to be on a big screen in the stadium, or would you rather be there? Or would you rather both?
Oh, that my question? Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry,
yeah, I mean, the fans not being in the stadium, obviously, there's a huge difference. You could just tell, like with the tempo and stuff, it's much slower.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan said here, his question was about getting big screens that show like a Zoom meeting, where fans can be on the screen, you know, a bit like they've done with the Prime Minister's sort of like, you know, whatever garbage nonsense that he's come out with, like, and everything else, and you've got all these people in the stadiums. Is it for you? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe
I'm not sure about that one.
Stadium. Yeah. I don't think it'd be for me.
I think there'll be a big delay as well.
Yeah, of course, you've got that there where I'm going to you, what, and you're watching it. But yeah, it could be. Robert Robinson's on. Hey, how are you? Zagon, how is everyone tonight? Yeah, good, mate. Commitment, says John Grogan. It is. Good about you. Yeah, mate. Messi next, says Scott Brownwell. I'm going to ask you that question. Good evening, long time no see, Charlie. Yeah. I was going to say he's my favourite dog, but he's not my favourite dog anymore, I'm afraid. But my lifestyle, still love that dog. Hope you're well, mate. I've been celebrating all day. What have you been up to, mate? Hi, Guido. We've got, says Sean. Dupe, I'm happy about it. Jack Lee, I'm chuffed. Got the best manager in the world even longer. Great news. 2 years is a great deal for all involved, says Kurt. How are you, Kurt? Hope you're well, mate. Cal says, hey, Andy, I bet you're happy, mate. Hope you and your family are well. I think performances will certainly improve as Pep will be here permanently. I think Messi is happening. Good point, that, Cal, about now that it's committed, is that going to force, you know, is a player's going to step up an extra 10% sort of thing? I'll be if Pep's decision wasn't based on Messi coming to City, all that remains is to give Sergio a 2-year extension. We're going to talk about that. Going to smash it on, mate. There you go. Blue Hearts on. We've got Guardiola. We've got Guardiola. There you go. They all like that song. Evening, lads. How y'all doing? Very good, Noah. How are you, mate? Jack Lee, you're doing a great job. Tom, buddy. There you go.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Positive comments about your fundraising. Evening, Andy and Pep. We trust. Great news, Anthony Elmer. Yeah, it is brilliant news. Great show, guys. Thank you, Alec Johnson. John Grogan. Well done, Tom. Good evening to everyone. Says Blue Heart. Kurt says, keep up the good work, Tom. Terrible illness. Worked in dementia homes for many years. Top bloke. There you go. City women lose on pens. Unlucky. Were they playing United tonight, I think, weren't they?
Yeah.
It's boiling a lot of urine with rival fans. Love it, says Ronnie. So do we. Quality manager for a quality club, says Big Morgan. Abdul Latif Omar, £4.99. Thank you very much for that, Abdul Latif Omar. But get a question in. You've given us a super chat, so get a question in and we'll discuss it. Kamal is a Liverpool fan. Are you a Liverpool fan now, Kamal? Oh,
yeah,
my
I've been
Lord.
caught, yeah.
Yeah, he's been caught out, hasn't he? Just seen your tweet, Andy. You do look cross-eyed in those pictures. I know I do, don't I? I was messing about on Twitter before, reface.
Yeah.
And every time I put in Johnny Depp ones, and every time I put in, who was it? Johnny Depp and, I can't remember. I put it up. Let me just, I'll show you. You can all have a laugh. That's me as Johnny Depp. Look how cross-eyed I look. And the other one was every time I did Ford, look how cross-eyed I look.
Oh, God. That's brilliant.
Terminator. That one's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
But the best one, Dumb and Dumber.
That's class.
Or Phil Foden.
Phil Foden. You gone for my haircut?
I've gone for Ice Cube as well.
You look a bit like him there, Andy, I think. Yeah.
Or we could have The Shining.
All right, there you go.
That's not too bad. Dirty Harry.
You got them all.
Hey, 300. Hey,
well, there you go.
Hey.
And that's the best one.
John Wick. Oh, there you go. Fistful of dollars. There you go. That was me. Oh, Tom Hanks. Forgot Tom Hanks. There you go. That's me in Castaway. So yeah, I was dicking about in Reface before, and every time I put those two actors in, I was like that. My eyes were all over the place. But anyway, right. Let's get back to the questions. First question to you, Kamal, is Pep Guardiola signed a 2-year contract. Were you confident? I don't know because I haven't spoke to you for a while. So I only know what Tom said and others said on the Friday Night Social. But were you confident he was going to sign and extend it? I thought maybe I was confident he'd sign at least a year. I didn't really expect 2 years, which is great news. But what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think I knew he'd signed a new contract. It was a matter of when, not if. But really? 2 years is what I didn't expect. I thought it'd just be like a year because you heard a lot of news reports coming out. It'd be a year, like rolling contract sort of thing. But so I think the 2 years is better now because it gives like more stability.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we all thought. It was Pep's always done it at Barca. He's done it this 1 year rolling contracts. I think we all thought, fingers crossed, we're hoping that he will sign that 1 year. But today the news to come out and it's 2 years, which means two and a half more years of Pep Guardiola. What were your thoughts on it, Tom?
Well, obviously on the Friday Night Social last week, I was hoping that it was going to be a 2 year deal because when I was talking about the 1 year deal thing, I was talking about long term. But the 2 years secures the long term guarantee of certain players such as Sergio and some guys coming in, possibly Haaland, Messi, etc., all those sort of stuff. I was very happy it was 2 years. When it came up on my phone, City didn't give you much information. It says Pep has signed a new deal. So I clicked on it expecting it maybe to be a year. And then when I saw 2 years, it was a celebration that we've got him for another 2 years. the fact that we've had by far probably one of the best managers ever to be in the game for 7 years, if he fulfills the full contract, is unbelievable. And you know, it's exciting to see because just before I came on, I watched the interview, and the passion seems to have come back into him again that we had. I think it was a little bit of hesitation on whether he was going to get the contract himself. And I think over this international break, it's been, confirmed. And I think the guys will come back from the international break and probably feel confident that they actually know what's going to go on. And hopefully with that news, Kevin and Sterling's contracts maybe in the next few months or so can get tied down, because I think that's what they've been waiting for too. So it's not just Pep that we're glad to have. It's not just Pep that's getting the biggest impact from that. It's the players and people coming in, and us as fans as well. He even said how he was so happy that he'll be able to say goodbye and hello to the fans again and stuff like that, which is another great thing because he also considers us as well. So it's a nice thing to understand that your manager does care about you, even if you are in the ground at this point.
Yeah, Kamal, what else does that mean? 2-year contract. What else does that mean for the club and the players?
I think now, like next season, we're not going to have to be in that same situation again. Oh, is he going to sign? Is he not going to sign? And I think the players will be looking to bring in. If they see that Pep signed a new 2-year deal, it's going to be easier to sign players, top players.
So you think that this could possibly mean more transfers, maybe January next summer?
I don't think January. I think we'll be looking in the summer. I think it's harder to get players in January, and we rarely sign players in January.
We don't. I think the last one was Laporte, wasn't it? Laporte signed in January, but obviously he was injured and didn't come until the summer. But it's a notoriously difficult window. But what that does now is that there surely can be no settling off period now for the players. Pep's going to be here for another 2 years, 2.5 years. So there's no, you don't pull your finger out. It's like, we could have another manager in and he might like me. And this is it. You've got, and especially with the players like Walker, and another 2 years of development for the likes of Diaz and Torres in particular, and some of the other fringe players, obviously Phil Foden. I think it's brilliant, absolutely superb. Lucy wants to say, "Hey, Tom."
I know she does because she's just messaged me saying I'm going to wind you up again. So it's fun that they come and do that. It's fun that she comes and does that. Hopefully she's gone now. No, hopefully she
just loves you.
I'm not bothered, to be honest.
Andy, he's good, mate. He's fast asleep at the moment. Yeah, but thank you for all the messages. He's fine now. He's back on his feet, and he's been an absolute lunatic apparently today. I've been out doing work stuff, so but thank you. He's all well and good. Fingers crossed for now. Cal says, I think we've all forgot Pep's mother died. Maybe he lost that urgent passion, so understandable. Great man. As a neutral, I'm happy to see the legend still here. Hope he ain't standing on his arm. His arm. I think, no, I'm not standing on his arm or his foot. Respect, Tom. You're doing your granddad proud. You're a legend, mate. Cheers, Evening Citizen says, Nippon, how are you, mate? I bet you're gutted, aren't you? That Pep Guardiola signed a 2-year contract. City women battered United, and even after losing on pens, we go through. That's all about. I mean, you won't. Hi, Andy. How are you, buddy? Hope you're well. Sean, I'm so happy that we don't have to wait till the end of the season to know. Yeah, to be honest, I think if it got to the end of the season, personally, I would have thought he isn't going to sign. I didn't think it was going to be. He'd wait that long. Alec Johnson, Ice Cube, Andy Eastwood. Yeah, there you go. I didn't think we would get Pep in the first place. Anthony says, you watch us get Haaland now, plus Ben Rama. Right, okay. Which leads us on to some of Pep's comments. Now, I'll just read a few of them from his interview. If you haven't seen it, it's on the website, the official website, so go and see it. Obviously, this will take Pep Guardiola to 7 years at Manchester City if he sees out his contract. His longest has been 4 years. but he's already done 4.5, and now we've got him for another 2.5 to go, which is 7 years, which I don't think any of us thought he would be here for 7 years. And his words were, ever since I arrived at Manchester City, I've been made to feel so welcome in the club and in the city itself, from the players, the staff, the supporters, the people of Manchester, and the chairman and owner. He said, since then, we've achieved a great deal together, scored goals, won games and trophies, and we're all very proud of that success. Having that kind of support is the best thing any manager can have. I have everything I could possibly want to do my job well, and I am humbled by the confidence the owner, chairman, Ferran Cheeky, has shown in me to continue for 2 more years after this season. The challenge for us is to continue improving and evolving, and I'm very excited about helping Manchester City do that. He went on to talk about there were comments about the staff, and he did a lot of praise for the backroom staff. He was asked about Cheeky and Ferran, and he sort of steered clear of them, sort of almost going, well, what do you expect? Them, a friend, I trust them. And he did give a lot of praise to everybody, from the chefs and cooks and, the guys in the background. There was some words by Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, who said, it is a testament to the qualities of the man that Pep Guardiola's passion and intelligent approach are now woven into the very fabric of the football we play and our culture as a club. That impact has been central to our success during his tenure, and it's why I'm delighted that he shares our view that there is so much more to be achieved both on and off the field. He says Pep's contract extension is the natural next step in a journey which has evolved over many years. It is a product of the mutual trust and respect that exists between him and the entire club. It also goes to the stability and creativity at the heart of our football operations. Importantly, it is a validation of the football structure and philosophy that has been built over more than a decade and to which he has contributed so much. It's very good. And like I said, watch the video on the official site. He just seems absolutely buzzing on there. Now, so far, 6 trophies in 4.5 years. Great success. We're still missing that Champions League. Where do you think Pep's priorities will lie for the remainder of this season then, Kamal? What do you think is going to be his priority?
I think his priority is definitely the Premier League. We need to re-establish ourselves and take the stronghold that Liverpool had last season. I think if we could do that, then maybe have a shot in the Champions League, see where it goes, because I think Pep will win it. It's not a matter of if, it's when. So if it's not this season, it'll be the season after or the season after. But this season, definitely the Premier League.
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because my feelings on it. Champions League, if we get it, great. It's one of those to stop the fans going on about it. For me, it's always the Premier League. And with us now in the position whereby we've got to win it back off Liverpool after they won it last season, that seems to be the priority. But then we still got this elusive Champions League. That's what he was brought in for, if you believe all the media hype and everything else. So it is a difficult one. I don't know, Tom. Champions League or Premier League for you?
For me, it's always the Premier League, no matter what. It's your bread and butter. Obviously, it changes for certain fans depending on what they've won, to which is most important. But for me, it's always the Premier League. You have to establish yourself to be good in your own country before you go looking for Europe and further afield. For Pep this season, I think from what I was hearing, he wants to go on all fronts. From that interview, it wouldn't surprise me if we go far in everything this season. I can see it being similar to the season where we were 4 games off or whatever it was from actually completing the fullest season you can possibly do. Mm-hmm. I can see it being a season like that for us again. But fingers crossed we do complete every game we can possibly play and get every single trophy. Now, with injuries and stuff, maybe that's not possible, but I can see us competing on all 4 fronts again and not shying down from the opportunities because it's an odd season. And if there was a chance that we could do it, it's this season with injuries and stuff. So, for other teams as well as us. So, it's a chance that we can go and excel and maybe win all four. But if I had to choose, it'd be the Premier League to win that back and retain it again. It'd be very important for us as a team to prove that, last season was a one-off season. But we're starting to get a grip again with a better defence and, looking forward to the future.
Okay, I'll throw a spanner in the works then and be sort of devil's advocate on this one then. Liverpool don't win the title this season. Another club does. Premier League or Champions League this season? Come on. And Liverpool won't win the title this season. It'll either be us or another club. But you can only have one, Champions League or Premier League. And it won't be Liverpool for the Premier League.
I think in that situation, you've got to take the Champions League. Because
Yeah,
then we could say,
this is the thing.
And then that's done.
Yeah.
They can't throw it at us anymore.
This is the dilemma, isn't it? Is this, well, if Liverpool were guaranteed not to win the Premier League, because if they win back-to-backs, you'd never hear the end of it, would you? We're now dominate. They're now the most dominant Premier League team in history. That'll be what you'll get if they won back-to-backs. But if I could guarantee you that Liverpool won't win the title this season, and you had a choice of Champions League or Premier League, Tom?
You're a naughty bugger, are you, for putting that question in, are you? I'm going to go off all the words that I'm going to say the Champions League. So I was saying everything that I've just said. Everything that I've just said is just a complete load of rubbish now. We've wasted 3 minutes. But if that was the case, I'd rather see the Champions League under our belts because then we've won everything we can possibly win then. And then we can excel from the season after with the 2 years to try and win everything as much as we can because there's nothing to be, holding us back from the success with Pep because the Champions League is the only thing that people are criticising for not winning because he's established that he can win that he can win the Prem. He's established that he can win more than one trophy in a season. He's a record breaker in the Premier League. So if we can get the Champions League, that's the target. If somebody else can win the Premier League other than Liverpool,
there you go. That's why I threw that question in because Premier League for me all day long. But I was thinking about this earlier, and I thought. But if Liverpool were like fifth or sixth, I'd probably go. I'd be happy with second or third if we won the Champions League, just to get that off the shoulder, that whole garbage from opposition fans and everything else that goes with it. I'm not really asked about the Champions League, but it's just that whole thing. I'd have the Premier League every single day of the week. But interesting. Let's see who else is on. It feels like 17 days ago, the last time I was here on this live stream. How are you, mate? Is that long ago? Sir Alan's on. How are you, mate? Get in. We've got Guardiola. Thank you very much for the super chat. He's a nappy boy. Martin's on. Hi, all. Great news about Pep. Just popped in, say hello, and thanks for the get well messages. Much appreciated. Blue Heart says, I wasn't too sure about Haaland, but after watching a YouTube documentary on him, I now think we should get him if we can. Maybe we'll talk about Haaland. Get well, big man, says Sir Alan. Just woke up in Australia to the great news. Let the next phase begin, says Mike Perry. Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to put that back up because that's exactly how I felt when the news came through with 2 years. That is exactly how I felt. I think rather than just a year, it's like, players who you're going to get in, you're thinking, well, they're going to sign a year contract. Maybe Messi might sign a year contract, but other than that, there's no real continuity. When it's 2 years, it's almost like, wow, we can rebuild. We are rebuilding now, but we can complete this rebuild under Pep Guardiola, which is very exciting considering the signings we've made so far. So, what are your thoughts on the signings so far, Kamal, that we've made so far? We could sign some others in January. We might not. It might be next summer. But what are your thoughts on the signings that we've brought in the likes of Ake and Torres and Diaz in particular? Excited? Impressed? Okay about it?
looks like smart business. Because when you're hearing that Ruben Diaz would have cost 100 million euros and we've got him for 60, that looks like a steal, especially he's still young, 23 years old, has time to develop next to Laporte. Ake looked like a very good player. I wasn't sure about him for the price tag he went for, but he could play left back, centre back, and in the middle. So I think that's good. And Torres for 20 million, that looks like the bargain of the summer. Hat-trick against Germany.
And what a hat-trick.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, there were little things in
all 3 goals.
Wow.
Fantastic. They were special.
Yeah. Tom?
Yeah, I'm impressed with all of them that have come in. You know, Ruben was the main one that we need to get, signed, because we needed somebody to partner Laporte. It was so important. And as it's worked out, the back four now is absolutely solid as a rock. With Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, and Walker. They've playing really well, and that solved a lot of problems. And obviously with Nathan coming in, not a bad price. Maybe people are considering maybe a little bit much, but for what he does and where he can play, he's a very good player. And I just hope that these injuries that are happening don't come a regular occurrence, because he's a good player that fits our philosophy and doesn't shirk a tackle either. And what about Varane? He's an absolute legend. What a player, for £20 million, like I was saying when he first came in, before we'd even watched him play, £20 million gets you nothing these days in football. Sadly, because there's a lot of money in football these days. But £20 million for a guy who can, attack well, play football, scores goals, creates chances. It's a player that we've done well there, and he's the same age as Foden, or I think he's the same age as Foden too. And to come over to another country as he has done and impress as he has is very, very impressive. And to score a hat-trick against Germany, were considered one of the best national teams in the past 20 years, is very, very impressive. So overall, I'm very, very happy with the signings we brought in, and just hoping that Nathan can come back from his hamstring injury, and that's the end of the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I've been talking about Ake for about 18 months. I've been saying that I think he'd be great for City. I personally deep down thought 40 million plus was a tad expensive. But you look at it and go, well, if it was from Everton or it was from Tottenham and he came from one of those, you probably wouldn't really think anything of it. But because he came from Bournemouth, a relegated club, you're thinking 40 million, that's, surely they'd get rid of him for 25 or 30 or so. But it is what it is. We're always gonna have a premium on top of everything. Loads of goals this week come out. Obviously, we saw Ferran Torres hat-trick, superb. Diaz as well. Rodri getting a really good header. I want to see more of those headers for City. And then last night, Phil Foden. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on how many goals we've scored this week going into Spurs?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't scored many goals this season, and then during an international break, every player decides to play like Messi.
Yeah.
So I think if they could carry that into Tottenham, I think we've got a good chance of going there and sending out a statement.
Does that mean Pep has to pick 3 or 4 attacking players and really go at Tottenham? Or do you think he'll still go, because it's away, defensively with a Rodri and Gundogan? Or do you think he should actually be sticking with a Fernandinho or a Rodri as the holder and give Foden his head, give De Bruyne and give Torres, Sterling, Sergio, whoever it is, and let City go at Spurs?
I think he needs to attack them, and that's why I think he needs to play the 6 with the 2 8s ahead. So maybe Foden or even Bernardo Silva, he always plays well in that position. And I think Torres needs to start on Saturday, probably most likely for Morris.
Gonna be hard to drop him in it, Tom.
Yeah, it is. To score a hat trick, you can't really. If you put him on the bench, I'd feel quite bad for the guy. I don't know if Raz is going to be fit or not. I haven't heard about that. But if he isn't, if you're playing, look at Gabby. Jesus is in form. Aguero's coming back from injury. He's ready. So, it could be a case of playing Varane on the right, Jesus on the left, and Sergio up front with Foden and De Bruyne in the middle. There's so many options we can use. But I think defensively, last time we played against Spurs was what caused us the problems. We defended too much and then allowed them to beat us on the counter-attack when we tried to attack, and we accepted too much pressure. But I don't think that'll happen this season with the defence that we've got. But, I can't see who he's going to play based on, not because of injuries or who's out of form, the fact that he has so many players that have performed so well in the international break. It's crazy,
It's typical City fans on Twitter. We're like, look at all the goals we scored. Look, two for Foden, 3 for Torres. They're going to be on the bench on Saturday, don't you? Under Pep Guardiola. It wouldn't surprise you. It wouldn't surprise you if both of those players scored 5 goals between them, end up on the bench on Saturday. It's one of those things with Pep that we just have to accept, I'm guessing. Right, let's just see some of the comments on here. Ferran Torres is way better on the left. What do you think, Andy? Well, at the moment, I mean, he's been playing on the right for Spain, and up front. I'm happy to play him anywhere at the moment. He seems to be able to sniff out a goal, and that's what you want. Yes, Mahrez should be gone. Ooh, going down another route there. I did not expect that news, but just shows he really wants to win the Champions League, says Nathan Felton. Chris says, I don't know, Walido's DZ. No, I think we're stuck with him. I think he's talking to an Algerian fan there with the DZ. Paul Murray, so proud to be a Blue for Foden, Diaz, Pep, happy days. Everyone's very positive tonight, aren't they? Thanks, Dupe, says Alec. You're welcome, Alex, says Dupe. How good is the Prem? Ancelotti, Pep, Klopp, and Jose. And yes, it's in order.
Oh.
You're nothing but predictable, Cal. I'd rather see Mahrez left out the team completely, doesn't offer anything. But then you go and see what he did, that goal.
Yeah, what a goal.
It's like brilliant goal, but please do that for City. If that was City, it'd start running and play a ball sideways.
He'd pass it to Serge.
To the right back. He'd go all the way back, wouldn't he?
He'd try and take on keeper.
Yeah. Galaxy says, Mahrez on the left. I mean, something I've said in the past. What are your thoughts on Mahrez on the left? Because it is something, he's definitely no good on the right wing, and he is left-footed. And I've said, the only way to fit him in this team for me, because he's not going to get in Kevin's place, is shove him on the left wing, because he's not doing it on the right wing. I don't know, Kamal? What are your thoughts on Mahrez?
I mean, he's bound to be better on the left than he is on the right, because he's shocking on the right. So, but I still think, does he have the pace to play on the left?
He can get good crosses in, can't he? And if he gets enough space, I think he's one of those players like a Mendy who can get decent crosses in the box, because his technical ability is brilliant. But it's not working on the right. It really isn't. So what's the alternative? Because at the moment, would you play if Sterling was fit? And let's face it, Foden might have to go on the left if Sterling isn't available. Because are you going to drop Torres? Are you going to squeeze Torres into the team? So the player whose position is really in jeopardy at the moment in Man City is Mahrez, because of his form for club, not country, because he always seems to perform when he goes away on international duty. I don't know, Tom.
I believe he's got 2 more chances in 2 more positions, I think. I think he's got the left wing, and I think he's got play next to the Kevin in midfield. Yeah. Foden on the left, and then him there. That's the only. I think he's got 2 more chances, and if not, I can see him either departing in the summer or going somewhere else. I don't know how many more years he's got on his contract after this season. Has he been with us 3 years now?
3 years.
So it's 2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
He won't go on a free. I don't think.
I think he's too late to play on the. think he's too lazy in the middle.
I don't think because he don't tackle. We know he pulls out of tackles. He don't tackle, so I wouldn't want him. And I heard on the Friday Night Social you were talking a little bit about the I think it was the Friday Night Social. You were talking about the Mahrez role, and I did that.
Yeah.
I did that video on him, that tactical analysis on him after he signed, and I looked at his games for Leicester, and on the video I showed you his positions and where a lot of the time the way Leicester played, he dropped into his Leicester's own half to pick up the ball and run with. In a City system, that he won't. We don't play that way. We don't move the ball quickly forward. We want to get it into their half, their third, as quickly as we possibly can. Which means that brilliant season he had, where he's Player of the Year, where he was dropping right into his own half, picking up the ball and moving forward with it.
Yeah,
and he don't tackle. That's the only thing. Kevin does tackle. Bernardo at least will tackle.
Yeah, and he doesn't tackle. That is very, very true. But I'd like, even if we qualify for the Champions League and it's against Porto or somebody who's if he does play there, it's an option to experiment in a game that isn't wanted. And I don't want him to experiment it in a big game like Liverpool or United. It's a game where it's not necessarily necessary for us, but they'll be wanting to win it.
Yeah.
If he can, and then we can say, right, that's not going to work. Here's the left wing option, and then we can see if that works. And if you've got no options left, that's when a lot of the fans believe that he should be gone anyway, and it's all opinions like it always is. But with any player, you want to try and see where they can play to the best abilities, because he wouldn't have been signed for the amount of money if they didn't believe he had some sort of give to the team. But at the moment, he hasn't whatsoever, to be honest. As much as I'd like to support him and back any player that plays for us, he hasn't given us much. He hasn't given us much other than losing the ball and giving it to the right back.
So how come he can play so well for Algeria, which he has done? He's been very ultra consistent for Algeria, but just not. It's not working. It's not working. City this season.
Yeah,
the stats were great last season.
Yeah, the fact maybe that he's playing Zimbabwe in teams that aren't as good. No offense to Zimbabwe, because they might be very good in Africa. I've never watched them play, so I can't say much about them. But it depends. Maybe he gets. Maybe he can. The style of football Algeria plays suits him better. It was an over the top ball that got to him in the first place. So maybe that sort of football, which we don't really play, works for better for them. I know we're playing them this Saturday evening. I could see Mahrez being a very, very good player for Spurs and how they play their football with Kane and Son on that right hand side or in the middle. I can see him being, him and Son going forward. That'd be but for us, obviously, we've got Kevin, and like we've said all along, Andy, he's not going to take Kevin's role if he's fully fit. It's never going to happen. The only time you're going to see Mahrez playing there is if Kevin De Bruyne is injured for a long amount of time, like he was in his first season when he did his knee, and but since then he stayed fit, and Mahrez has had to play on the right because of Sané's injuries and stuff like that, and Sterling played on the left, and that was the only options we've had. So maybe last season was this is what I'm capable of doing, which was a very good Mahrez last season. Actually was allowed to finish, but maybe no fans there has got to him, and maybe the pressure from Ferran has got to him too, because a 19, 20-year-old lad's come from Spain for 20 million, a third of his price tag, and has performed far better than him in half the amount of games that he's been given.
Well, it's certainly Pep now signing this two-year extension. He's got a wealth of talent now to work with. And maybe Torres has put pressure not only on Mahrez, but on Bernardo and Raheem. Maybe look Raheem Sterling's game as well, because he's been a little bit in and out of form. He's had some great games and then some not so great games. So I think it's a really exciting time for us as fans with Pep signing this new extended contract. I think it's brilliant with the new signings we've brought in. Diaz has made us so much, with Laporte being back, obviously. Cancelo, Tom's favourite player, has done very well this season. He's still not a defender.
Well,
I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says.
Let's get that video up of him tackling Salah. He kept him in his back pocket, and what a tackle it was! He got us a point. Because the attackers did absolutely nothing other than Gabby that game. So the defense and Joao got that for us, and he got man of the match for it as well. So he obviously did something.
Let's see how many of those performances he put.
Yeah,
but he's probably our best left back at the moment. Options, because like Chris Baker says here, who is Mendy? He seems to have really drifted out of the picture, doesn't he? But if anyone can turn around Mendy, if Mendy can stay fit, it's without a shadow of a doubt. Someone who agrees Cancelo is learning and improving, says Alec Johnson. Even if Man United have a Pakistani player, I would still support City.
What?
Don't know what that means. Sammy El Gringo. And yes, the money of the Emirates, they buy a name Pep. And yet he is no longer the coach of formerly City. To lose the chance to win the Champions League because of his incompetent sleeves. Sammy, you're gonna have to really help me out with that one, mate. Mendy out ASAP. I will pay out the rest of his contract. Bloody hell, you must be a wealthy person, Dupe.
Yeah.
If you can pay out Ben Mendy's contracts, that's for certain. Right, on to the final thing. Does this mean, Kamal? Does this mean that Sergio Aguero is going to sign an extended contract? And does it mean that Lionel Messi will be a Manchester City player in 2021?
It's a difficult one because especially with Messi's comments yesterday, he's like sparked the fire again, and I think January. I think that will be the turning point. Whether we negotiate, whether he signs a pre-contract, but I think the 2 years is interesting because I think the talk in the summer was Messi would have signed a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll be joining us. Hopefully.
This is a lot of the thing, isn't it? It's a lot of, well, hold on a minute, a year. Maybe Messi might come for a year. Pep signing for 2 years. Messi gets a 2-year contract now, and he knows Pep's here till the end of those 2 years because Pep won't walk away, and City won't sack him. It's that simple, regardless of results. He might walk away if we were. We had a disastrous season this season, but there'd be maybe reasons behind it. But the following year, if we ended up 10th or 12th, he might walk away in embarrassment. But there's no way City would sack him, and we can't see that happening. So 2 years on the table for Messi, with an option that he stays one and he goes to New York City. Because there's that law of living in New York City, the Big Apple, and options of board level, cuts of this, cuts of that. I mean, financially, I saw something the other day. I was listening to, I think a comment was made on the Friday Night Social talking about money and about Messi or something else. It might not have been the Friday Night Social, but they were talking about it's too expensive, is this, that, and the other, and we can't afford him, and it's a waste of money. And do you know how much Juventus made last season from Cristiano Ronaldo in commercial contracts? What Juventus made, not Cristiano Ronaldo made. Do you know how much they made last year in commercial contracts for signing Ronaldo?
A lot, I imagine.
450 million euros.
Hellfire. And that's for Ronaldo.
Now, I know Ronaldo, he probably does earn more money than Messi, commercially. Because he's a big thing on Twitter and Instagram and everything. He's that type of person. But still, let's say even 300 million euros per year that Messi could bring in. It pays for him. It pays for him 3 times over.
Yeah.
It makes absolute sense. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And if he's not nowhere near as best he's ever been, he will get you 15 goals minimum per season. Easily. So, I I can just see it being. Just everything seems to have fallen into place today. It really does. You mentioned about his comment yesterday, Kamal, didn't he? He made a comment. Do I get blamed for everything at this club? Basically, he was saying, is everything? Am I to blame for everything that goes on at this club? You know, with the loss of earnings and things like that, and they're in big trouble. They are in huge trouble, Barcelona, financially. So it just makes sense. So I'll ask you the question, Tom. Will Messi, yes or no, will Messi be a Manchester City player in 2021, be that January or the summer?
Yes, please. It'd be amazing. It'd be absolutely amazing to have him at City. There's a reason why I've not had anybody printed on the back of my shirt yet for this season, because there's still hope that this season he'll be coming in January and I can walk to the City store and get Messi on the back of my shirt.
Could you ever believe that you would ever be going into a Man City store and going, "What do you want? What's your name?" It's Tom. Tom, what would you like on the back of the shirt? Messi.
I'd never ever.
He's actually a Man City player.
15 years as a season ticket holder, and to walk in there, I've had all sorts: Negredo, Robinho, Alano, Giovanni, all those guys on the back of my shirt. But he comes to 17 years old, you go in and get Messi. You have to pinch yourself because, when I was having the likes of Giovanni and Alano, they were my Messis at that point. But, the club's progressed since that point. And, now we're getting links with Messi. And if we do get him, it's a surreal moment. And, I couldn't believe I wouldn't be able. I'd have to pinch myself. It'd be like, getting close to the point where we got taken over. Not as big as that, but it's by far since that point probably the biggest moment for our club since that point. Yeah.
I mean it's not. I might even for the first time buy a shirt.
Yeah.
With Messi on the back. Go on, Kamal. You want to say?
Tom, I thought you would have put Joao on your shirt over Messi.
Nah, Joao knows the love between me and Joao. He knows that he has a massive fan from Yorkshire who wears his flat cap and shouts "Come on, Joao" every 10 minutes. So he knows that, and Messi is more important than Joao 100% at this point. I know Joao's probably upset that I've just said that, but if Messi comes, he's coming on the shirt, and Joao can go on next season's shirt because Joao's still got a long time with the club. He's got a good 15 years with City yet, Joao.
15.
Oh my Lord! I'll be reminding you next year when I'm going. Told you he wasn't a defender. I'll still
be back in.
I know you will. I know you will.
The bonds come too far with me and Joao now.
I know. Dupe says Messi and De Bruyne are passing and Aguero and Varane up top. Please, not even 50 Van Dijks and Ramos can stop that. Ramos, another player who might be looking for a new challenge. Nice. Anthony Aylmar says, what an 11. Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Foden, KDB, Torres, Serge, and Leo. No place for Sterling in that team. Wow. Blue House, if Messi's got the balls, he'll come to City with Mahrez going the other way. Dupe says, Chris, he's always trolling. Cheeky orangutan Mustafa is. Down the drain, I think that means. Andy Blue Moon, how are you, mate? Hope you're well. If Messi comes in, do you think someone will have to go? If so, who do you think should go, guys?
One man. There's only one man that can go, isn't there, really?
There's only one person.
It's Mahrez. It's Mahrez.
I'll let you two say it, not me.
It's Mahrez.
Mahrez.
Yeah, definitely Mahrez.
I suppose we might get some money back on him, and he'll probably get one last big payday, won't we? Due to his age, so it'd have to be something like that. Can you imagine Messi at Barcelona? I think he'd be brilliant at Barcelona. Some sort of a team, who knows? Alan's on the super chat. Oh my God, the ice cream van coming around the corner again. Don't run after it. Don't know what you've been.
It's that picture.
I know. Keith Robinson, he will be joining in January. Yeah. Football is for a game. It's a business now. Shame but true. Has been for a long time, mate. Miro Stenroos says Messi would make teams' mentality unbelievable upgrade. They would have to fight for free kicks with De Bruyne. Can you imagine that? Who takes the free kick? Who takes the penalties? Who takes the penalties?
Step aside.
Messi after Kevin's against Liverpool.
Well, hold on. What about Gundogan?
He'll have to be on the pitch first.
Right. Oh.
Good old Gundo.
On this channel, a rule should be that... Galaxy says, on this channel, a rule should be that trolls who cause mischief get kicked out. I think Chris has already kicked out a couple of people, mate. He's just, I think, booted someone out. How is lovely Stanley? And he's very good, mate. He's having a sleep at the moment, but he's much better. Thank you, mate. Joanne has broken up with Tom. Confirmed.
There's no breakup yet.
Robert F. Andy, even buying a shirt that shows you how many millions will be like you, Andy, and buy a shirt who never do and get Messi on. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I haven't bought shirts since I was 13, which was a very, very long time ago. It's just not my thing, but it would be one. I wouldn't wear it. It'd be one of the frame.
It'd be you and my dad. It'd be you and my dad at front of the door because he never buys shirts. You and my dad. Let us in.
Banging up. Yeah, we'll meet up and see who gets through. Messi looking at houses in Beswick or Cheetham Hill. Yeah. Messi, bit of a show pony, eh? Yeah, right. Jeff's Gaming. David Alana. I think you mean Alaba or Tagliafico. Okay, you've asked the question. So neither one or the other, or both. Tom?
I don't think we need anybody at the moment in that aspect defensively.
Oh, I don't know. Joao Cancelo or David Alaba at left back. Oh,
I wonder who. Yeah.
A proper left back.
Joao, he is a defender. Yeah, I just keep showing you that tackle that he made against Salah. Salah was, that is the quietest he's
been. Kamal. David Alaba. I'm assuming that's David Alaba. Tagliafico or Joao Cancelo as left back.
Yeah, I wonder who. I think there's only one person. I think David Alaba. Defensively solid, play left back, centre back, and in the midfield.
Midfield, absolutely. Yeah, I would agree with you, Kamal. David Alaba is a superb player. Though he's not really shown much interest in coming to the Premier.
Joao would be able to even lace Alaba's boots.
Oh, fighting talk on mcfcfantv.
Leave Joao alone.
I hope Tom say that Joao isn't the mate weight in the Messi coming to City. No, I can't see that happening.
No.
Let's see. Any others? Oh no, glass of milk. Awa. No chance. Garbage. Inconsistent. Scott Brown. We signed Messi, can see us winning the Prem and Champions League. We have world-class players. Messi would be the icing on the cake. I think we'd all agree with that one. Imagine the Etihad when Messi comes. I even think the other supporters would clap as well. Let's face it.
Liverpool.
They won't. But deep down, anybody who follows some of the big teams in Europe in Champions League and see them play, they all love watching Messi at their stadiums and going to away. Of course they do. Did hate it that if he came to City, without a shadow of a doubt. What are the rumours about Luiz and Grealish? But Grealish or Messi, I know what I choose. Well, there's the rumours that Douglas Luiz got that 25 million buyback in there. Grealish, I don't know. Here's my very quick thoughts, and I'll hand it over to you two, and then we'll wrap it up. Grealish, Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz, you're going to have to say for Gundogan or Rodri, or Fernandinho. But Fernandinho's not really playing that much now. The position seems to be Rodri's, and sometimes with Gundogan. Do we really need a Douglas Luiz and Rodri combination? Not for me. Rodri spent a lot of money on. I think Rodri, for me, is a better ball player than Douglas Luiz, personally. Douglas Luiz seems like a proper six, tough tackler, blah, blah, blah. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a huge amount of him for Villa. I've seen some games. When I saw him against City, didn't think he was great, if I'm being honest. Now, he might have a wonderful season. So, for me, Douglas Luiz stays where he is for me. Jack Grealish, great talent. But what we're doing is, for me, if you bring Grealish in, Foden's out. Because I think they're virtually almost identical players, playing in almost identical positions, or their best positions. Can't see Grealish getting in ahead of Ferran Torres at the moment. Can't see him getting in for KDB. Can't see him getting in for Sterling. Can't see him getting in on the right-hand side either. And he never plays on the right, rarely. So, for me, if we bring Grealish in, it just stumps Phil Foden's growth. And I'd rather Phil Foden, personally. But I don't know. Final question, that. So, Kamal, you're first. Grealish and Douglas Luiz, what are your thoughts on them?
Grealish is a great player, but I just think that we're stacked in those positions. And like you mentioned, he'll be stopping the development of people like Torres and Foden. But Luiz, I think we should go and pay the buyback clause, because I think he's more of a Fernandinho type of player.
Yeah.
And if Fernandinho leaves in the summer, I think he's more mobile than Rodri and Gundogan. And if we play the 4-2-3-1, Rodri and Gundogan are too similar. So maybe if you had someone more mobile like Luiz, it'd be better.
Is Luiz as good on the ball as Rodri and Gundogan? Because
again,
is Douglas Luiz as good on the ball, passing and everything, as Rodri and Gundogan? Because what Pep likes. I don't think Pep likes an enforcer, because Busquets is a beautiful passer of the ball as well. Is he that good? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I've only seen a couple of games watching Luiz this season. When I saw him against City, I didn't think he was that great. I'll be honest with you.
But he's still only 22.
Yeah, he's only young.
He has time to develop.
Yeah. But then Rodri's only
23.
24?
23, yeah.
So, I mean, it's the same sort of thing. But if we could get him for 25 million, that's not a is it? Would he want to move? Would he? And that's the thing. Now he's a regular at Villa. I don't know. Tom, Green and Douglas Luiz.
You know, with Luiz, you know, if he was that good 2 seasons back, we'd have tried to get his visa for us. But you know, he was put to Villa, and he's proved to be very good there. But I think he's one of those players where if he takes that next step up, it'd be a little bit out of his comfort zone. I think he'll be a class player for them, but he'd not be a regular starter for us, which could probably cause problems for him, and not obviously show his true potential. So for his sort of, you know, case, I wouldn't really go for him, because I don't think he could bring much more to us that we need. As for Grealish, I'd love to have Jack at City. He's one of those players where if he's playing for you, you'd love to have him. But if he's playing against you, you're like, oh, bloody hell, he's playing. He'll cause some problems for you. He's a bit like Vardy in a way. You know, you'd love to have him, but he's a nightmare to play against. You know, he's one of those players. And, you know, he's disliked by a lot of clubs, fans, and stuff like that. You know, look at the incident against Birmingham. You know, he didn't take any rubbish. You know, he got smacked around head and then went and scored the winner in a derby. So, you know, he's not a player to back down from a passionate game. And, you know, we need a little bit more passion. Like I've always said, since Vinny's left and some of the big leaders have left, Grealish should be the sort of player that I'd bring you a little bit more passion and understand what it's like to play for a team. You know, he's done it at Villa, so I can't see why he couldn't bring it to City. And maybe that is the left side, the left wing problem that we're, you know, he's played very well for Villa on the left side. So, you know, if we get Grealish in and he plays on the left, it could allow Sterling to move back onto the right. And, you know, things could start to come in again.
And my next question to you would be, and who plays up front? If Grealish goes on the left and Sterling goes on the right, who's the striker?
Well, I personally think Varane could be converted into a striker.
Will he? Will he though when Sergio's fit?
No. This if Sergio leaves, then this is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
if Sergio leaves,
yeah, because if he doesn't sign his contract, I think Sergio will obviously sadly depart in this summer. But as it is, that's what's happening. So Jesus is class, he's not obviously, like we've been saying, the replacement. But I think Grealish is the sort of guy that you'd bring in and he'd be a guaranteed starter on that left, and that'd stop the problems. And I think, in that season when we were Centurions, we had support on both sides. We had two players that could play both sides, and that's what won us the league. When Sane was injured, people moved around and were class. That's what we need. Players that we can secure players. And, if Jesus is that striker and we bring in another big man such as Haaland or somebody like that, that's your two strikers. You've got Varane who could play up front. You've got Bernardo on the right. You've got Sterling who can play on the left with Grealish. There's so many options if you bring somebody like who can play on the left and he's proved to play on the left in the Premier League, because that's another thing. You're bringing in a guy who can play well in the Premier League and you're not taking a gamble.
Would City pay over 100 million for him? Because that's how much it cost.
100 million over that. It's how football's going, and he
will not be anything less than 100 million. No way. Grealish won't be.
Didn't he just sign a new contract?
Yeah, he has, hasn't he? Yeah. If Pogba's going at the moment for 170 million, they're saying if he gets sold. If we get Grealish for 100 million, or 110 million, with how football's going, that could be a new bargain these days. The next 2 years of transfers with Haaland and Mbappe and all those sort of guys, that'll that'll set the new bar of where football is in money wise, because that'll be the big point. And who knows if we get him, happy days. But I wouldn't spend much over 100 million because there's players out there that you could bring in. Maybe that could do a better job for 80 or 90 million. But for the player and the passion and the class that he brings to a team and the different positions that he can play, it wouldn't be too bad for 100 million.
Well, there you go. I hope that answers your question, Andy Blue Moon. Louise and Grealish, you've heard what Tom and Kamal have got to say about it. What else have we got here? Cancelo is going to get better and better. Alaba is a fading star.
Yes, lad.
Alaba on the bench and Messi just takes the... Yeah. Jeff. Oh, big jump there. Sorry. Big jump. So I'm going to have to go back to where that was. Let's just see if there's anything else. Sir Alan says Douglas Louise. Yes. I don't know what he's laughing at, but he's laughing at something. Ronnie says, I love Grealish, but Bernardo, Phil, Varane, Raz, all better. We are already struggling to fit our best team on the pitch. That's the thing. We need somebody. We need somebody to go, one or two players to go. If we could get Haaland, then release Sergio. That's the problem, because I think, for me, if Pep signed the 2-year deal and Messi comes, that means Sergio's guaranteed to stay. I don't think Messi had come just because of Pep. I think he'd want Sergio here, play and live with Sergio. Not live with him, but be around Sergio and his family and everything else, because they're the best mates. So, Blue Art says he did nothing in the cup final against City. Grealish is another false dawn type like Jack Wilshere. I keep saying it. I do think it'll be between him and Foden, and I'd have Foden. I'd stick with Foden for me, and I do think that's the conundrum where we stand at the moment. But we'll see. I think we have found our Sane replacement. Hail the hat-trick hero Torres. Everyone's in love with Ferran Torres. They just absolutely love him. Andy Blue Moon, thank you guys. Love this show. Always makes me happy. Enjoy all opinions and debates. Thank you, Man City Fan TV. You're welcome, Andy, and thank you so much for all your contributions, mate. Edin Dzeko, we need is a grafter. Okay, that's the final question for tonight before we wrap it up. Tom, do we need Edin Dzeko back? Yes or no?
Oh, that'd be brilliant to have Edin back. I'd love that. What a legend.
I never said, would you like him back? I said, do we need Edin Dzeko?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
We do. We need somebody when we're losing or drawing, when those crosses are coming in 18 foot in the air, to Dzeko to just smack it in and get us back into the game.
Yeah, we need something, don't we? Kamal?
I think we need something different, but whether Pep will go for that, I don't think he will.
I'd be very surprised if he went for it. But I agree with you two. And the comments on it. We do need something different. Even though Alec, Dzeko fans icon. Dzeko is a brilliant. Love it. Absolutely love Dzeko, super sub. What was Chris saying? So do we.
No idea.
WDA. He's been a waste of money.
Might be Mahrez, maybe.
Oh, I think he's talking about WDA. Somebody might have said WDA. Somebody on here. Oh, WDA. There you go. I hope Mahrez will leave City.
Oh.
And Chris said, so do we. He's been a waste of money.
I thought it might be about Mahrez.
Yeah, there you go. Is Stanley fully fit for the game against Spurs, Andy? He is. He's absolutely fully fit after his sleep tonight. He'll be fine. Great show, guys. Thank you, Scott. Zagon's excited maybe at the possibility of Dzeko coming to City. I doubt that. But
just to sing his chant. Just to sing his chant.
I know. We need someone different. I found it. Balotelli. Oh, God, no, thank you. Pellegrini killed Dzeko's City career.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it wasn't the
Sadly.
best. I was one who, gave Dzeko grief in some games, I must admit, because sometimes it was like, are you really a footballer? It was like, couldn't control the ball, everything bounced. But, I mean, how many games did he win for us? And we are definitely missing somebody like him at the moment. It's just something different. I'm not saying we have to start with a tall striker, but if the game's not going our way, or we're 1-0 down, or it's 1-1, and because we've seen it. I tell you what, then here's for you, Tom. Finally, if we did get a big striker in, I guarantee you, Cancelo won't be playing 80-foot high balls that he means to be a proper cross. We'd end up playing. He'd play it on the floor.
Joao is capable of anything. He will change his play style to whoever is up front. You'll see. You'll just see. If we're bringing a tall striker, Joao will have the second most assists behind Kevin, because those shocking crosses that you claim that are shots, and they'll be on somebody's head.
I don't think there's a 12'5" striker out there, is there? Because that's how tall he'd have to be to jump to get the 18-foot crosses that he puts in.
Oh dear.
Noah says KDB doesn't look like a footballer to me, but what a player he is, one of the world's best. Well, I think we all know now KDB is negotiating his own contract now with City, and I don't think they're in any rush, and I don't think he is, all the club are. I think now Pep signed this 2-year contract. I think that will seal pen to paper for Kevin De Bruyne and Raheem Sterling. So I think overall tonight's news is absolutely fantastic for Manchester City. It puts to bed a lot of the stop messing us about Pep, blah 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 arguments and things like that. It's not a 1 year, it's a 2-year extension, which means we've got another 2.5 years, and who knows, at the end of that we could be in November 2023 going, is he going to sign another year?
10 years.
He might get. Can you imagine 10 years?
Imagine. I was thinking that earlier, and I was also thinking Juan Lilo's contract runs out this year, and Vinny is, he's not doing too good with Anderlecht. So, assistant manager Vinny coming back, that'd be very nice.
Okay, I'll tell you what then. Last question. This is definitely the last question. Come on. You can bring back one player who I think we should be bringing back somebody that bridges that gap that Mikel Arteta's left in, between the manager and the players. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know because I'm not around the training ground every day, and I don't know the people involved at the moment. But I do think an ex-player around the training ground and the changing rooms and one player you could bring back. Who would it be, Kamal?
I think it would have to be Zabaleta or Vincent Company.
You can only choose one.
I think I'd go with Company because Company was he's been at City longer, so obviously he would have known the Pep way better. I think he knows a lot of the players as well, and he'll have that aura around him.
Tom?
Well, you could say Frank Lampard because he's a City legend, but he's at Chelsea at the moment, so that's a shame. No, it'd be Vinny Company for me. You know, he's the man. I personally think probably will take over after Pep if everything goes well. You know, he's the man who's, you know, led us to the titles, led us to all our trophies. You know, we haven't won a trophy since he's left, other than the Carabao Cup. You know, he's the man that you know, get that passion back into that team. And, you know, it'd be, you know, getting into them and, you know, showing them the right way again. And that's what you want. You want a little bit of the old passion back because that's what we've missed. You know, and then if it did come Zabba and Company at some point, then, you know, and it was them two managing, you know, it'd be dreamland, wouldn't it? You know, it would be dreamland. But, you know, we'll see what the future holds.
I'd have them both back in a flash, in an instant. Either of them. Both of them, preferably. I was feeling with Vinny though. I don't know. He just seems so ambitious that would he want to come back in a coaching role?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's the only thing with him. He's so ambitious. But maybe if we do offer him the likes of what we gave with, I mean, he knows the club inside out. But I mean, the other side of it, and I know he's heavily into the business models and things like that. But like we did with Patrick Vieira, and let him look at maybe the under-21s, the EDS team, and then maybe into the business side and then everything else, that might stimulate him and go, well, okay, it's a little bit out of football, first team football, but a bit of progression. New York City FC might be a natural progression next year prior to coming back to City, something like that. So I do think he's definitely got managerial capabilities within him. But I'd love to see Zabba back for me. I love Zabaleta.
It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? You know, you have Vinny as manager, Zabba as assistant coach, and Joey Hart as goalkeeping coach. You know, they're all coming back. All of them on the bench. Aguero, you know, all of them sat there.
They might even bring back João Cancelo as the defensive coach.
Of course, and cross coach as well.
After they get rid of him next season.
After he gets player of the season this year.
we might even get Mahrez back as our coach.
Cleaner. Coach driver.
Yeah.
I never said that. That was Tom. But finally, good way to end up. Alec Johnson, what a time to be a Blue. Brilliant owners, brilliant players, brilliant manager, and brilliant stuffing corrupt UEFA. Well, let's hope we do this season. But the good news is, if you've joined late and you don't know where you've been today, but Pep Guardiola has signed an extended 2-year contract at Manchester City, which will take him, after 2.5 years, it'll take him to 7 years at City, which is phenomenal. None of us, we were all just over the moon that he would be 4 years. But now it looks like it's going to be 7 years. And who knows? Will Sergio sign an extension? Will that seal Kevin signing his extended contract? Will that mean Raz a new contract? And more importantly, does that mean if Sergio signs, Pep has signed, Lionel Messi is coming to Manchester City in 2021? But anyway, I want to say a massive thank you to Kamal. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
You're more than welcome. Tom?
Thanks, Andy. It's been good again, as always.
No problem. Do you want to give a shout out to, just finally before we go, all the links are in the description below this video, but you can have a verbal shout out to everyone.
Yep, so as a lot of you know, I'm doing the run. I'm 4 days in at the moment. 20k's gone. 45k to go. All the money raised is going to Alzheimer's Society as Alzheimer's research in memory of my granddad, who sadly passed away 2 months ago. And I'm running 65k in memory of him. for the 65 years he was dementia free. And all these links are in the description.
Absolutely. So go in the description, and if you can support Tom in any way, shape, or form, even if it's just £1 or something like that, everything is going towards Alzheimer's research. So he's doing a great job. Keep hitting the like, says Diego C. Palace. Wonderful stream, Andy Kamal and Tom Cancello.
I'm fine with that.
There you go. Go on, Tom. Please support our Tom. What a great lad. Absolutely. But there you go. Don't forget, links are in the description below. So go and click it. It takes you about 10, 15 seconds to go through, put your details in and support Tom. And we'll keep supporting him throughout the next, is it the 29th you finish it?
I think it is. Yeah, it's either the 28th or the 29th. I think it's the 28th. I think it is the 28th.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I said the wrong day on the live stream on the Friday Night Social. My maths got ahead of me.
Well, that's what I thought when I watched it back. I'm thinking, okay, maybe it is 29th.
It's the 28th. Yeah.
But it don't matter. We'll do an extra couple of days with him and try and just push the last bits coming in. But the GoFundMe page will still be open for at least a week afterwards, so you can still on there. And prior to the live vlogs, you'll see it again. We'll play Tom, and maybe Tom will update us on a day 4, day 5, or whatever he's on, a new video, and let us know how it's going. But anyway, I want to say a massive thank you to Kamal and Tom. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's tons of people on. We had over 90 odd people on at one point there. Loads of comments, loads of questions. So we really do appreciate it. Cheers, everyone. Take care and stay safe. And you too. Chris Baker, on Friday Night Social.
Says you, Chris, get about 4 bottles of Jack Daniels down, yeah.
I said to him afterwards, were you on the lash or something? And he was, I don't think he felt that well on Saturday morning, by all accounts. But it was a really, really good watch. If you haven't seen last week's Friday Night Social, go and have it. It was really good. And we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be doing the Friday Night Social tomorrow. So, we'll see who's coming on. Don't know yet. But we'll dig up some people. We'll get people. And we'll have all sorts to talk about. And But thank you, Noah. See you all later, guys. Have a good rest of your week. You too. Bye again. Have a good night. You too, DP. Thank you. This is Andy from mcfcfantv. Don't forget, subscribe. Hit that bell icon. Give it a thumbs up. Make sure your settings are set to public and not private. That way you'll be notified when all the new videos are live on there. But once again, Pep Guardiola has signed a 2-year contract extension, which is absolutely brilliant. Everyone is excited. Will Messi be at Manchester City in 2021 with Sergio Aguero? I guess we'll wait and see. But take care. We'll see you soon.